Well, hello. Welcome to Dashcam Diary with Disabled with me, Chronically Happy. Today is day one of trying to sell my jewelry at the tree farm. So I thought I'd at least put on some beautiful bright red lipstick to match my beautiful rose and my beautiful bow. I'm not quite sold on having the bow on my hat. I kind of want a rose on each side now, or just the one on the one side. I'm thinking about putting this somewhere else. Not quite sure. So my uncle and I stayed up until about 1 o'clock, 1:15, more like 1:30 a.m. And it's crazy. I woke up at like 6:45, a little nauseous. My back is completely out. Well, my uncle's hip was causing him a lot of pain. He was like groaning in loud pain. This man has he's so neurospicy. Like, it's ridiculous how neurospicy he is. He was born messed up. Yeah, I'm talking about my uncle's business, but you don't watch YouTube. It's been rough having him live there for all of us, various times, annoying the hell out of each one of us. But my dad really had no choice. My mom has always been kind of the one in charge. And I feel like my dad is just too nice of a guy. My dad is too nice, and he is willing to be walked all over by mom for they've been married 51 years, so. I'm not going to get too much more into that, but I just feel like my dad could have been a lot happier in life. And now at this point, it's too hard to live in an economy single. I did get a hold of my aunt, who just recently hasn't finalized the papers yet. The ink is still waiting to get touched to that paper. But she's not going to be able to sustain her lifestyle in her place that she's currently in either. It's only a matter of a few months before she has to move in with one of her sisters too. Unfortunately, it's going to be a little over a year, probably around a year and a half, because let's see how many, roughly a year and a half anyways, for me to save up money and be able to move out. But I also need to help my parents put on a new roof on their house, because eventually that house will be mine, and it's going to be my headache if it doesn't get taken care of soon. It's going to get a leak, and I hope it lasts this winter. And I hope the storms aren't horrible. I don't know. And I had a large chunk of money, and I blew it. I blew it all on myself. I should have put some aside for the roof, because ultimately that is my future investment. I don't even know if I'm going to be able to walk after surgery. I don't even know what's going to happen. And I'm not trying to be a pessimist. I'm trying to be a realist. I'm trying to be keeping it real while also praying and hoping for the best. I'm preparing for the worst, but hopefully everything is going to go as planned, and I'm going to keep manifesting that it will. I'm not going to say I hope. I'm going to say it will go smooth. I'm going to just go in with that mentality that it is it will go smooth. And I'm going to come out there better like I did the first time around. I wish you could help get rid of some of the scar tissue, the fibrous tissues that have built up that are being a pain in my butt, literally, because it's in my SI and lower back. I need my SI joints to stop effing around. Because if I fall again, even if it's not complications from surgery, there are many possibilities that I could fall and hurt myself beyond what I'm capable of being able to heal. I should have brought that extra tissue box to shove underneath the table while working. Oh well. Tomorrow maybe. I didn't dream of getting up this early again since the Black Friday deals have been dead for years because of online shopping. I miss those days. I'm going to cherish those memories forever of the ridiculousness of waiting in line overnight for something. Like the nostalgia that brought back the whole ridiculous trend on the Starbucks Bear Cup of people camping out to get that stupid cup. Like, come on. I honestly never stood in line for something like that. I was standing in line for things like free video game. One year I got a free Xbox game, Dance Dance Revolution, for being outside Old Navy first thing, and free gifts to the first however many people. And also, I don't need to go there instead. I almost went to my chiropractor's appointment again. I don't need to go there. I say that again as in, I went there I was driving there on autopilot as a mistake because I was talking to my friend, Social Joe. I was taking her to my chiropractor appointment right past all the shops at Kaiser Station. Oh my gosh. She was just like, she didn't say anything until like halfway down the dark road. Like, she was just like, quietly kind of was like, where are we going? I was like, oh my gosh, I'm so ridiculous. I'm taking you to my chiropractor. I'm just on autopilot because there's like a big shopping. It's Kaiser Station, and like you have to go way behind there, and by the Volcano Stadium and behind there, which they have a whole bunch of light displays set up. And my friend is going to be working outside, and she told me that I'm going to tell her there's no way in H that I'm going to sit outside or work outside. When we drove by there and she saw that it was an outside thing, she was like, oh, heck no. There's no way in heck I'm going to work outside. Well, I asked her last night on the phone, so I'm like, are you working outside? And she's like, yes. I know y'all don't know any of these people, but these are people in my life that just crack me up. Along with myself, I crack myself up for being ridiculous and taking her to the chiro and being on autopilot. I just have these predetermined pathways that I go, and if I start resembling that pathway, then I was in the middle of kind of telling an emotional story, though, to be honest, just like I was on the other video I recorded. And I don't know if I posted that video, honestly. I might have posted that one. I know I've been losing subscribers. I've lost over 5 in the last few days, but that's just the ebb and flow of what it's like to be a content creator. You just can't keep them all, and you don't know exactly which content that brought them in and subscribed to begin with. So, maybe my most recent posts are not what they were expecting to see from me. So they're like, oh, why am I subscribed to this person? I'm just being real. I get it. I do need to split my channels into separate channels. I do have one that I started before I even started posting, and I wrote the channel is Navigating Through Life. So I don't know if I want to put my disabled stuff on there, because Chronically Happy is my brand for being chronically ill. And I still don't have a rave name. I wish I could get a rave name from somebody, but you have to be given it. You can't ask for one and somebody just be like on the spot give it to you. You have to, there has to be something characteristic about you that stands out to more than one person, that they recognize, like, this is this person, this is their name. And I don't have a rave name. I made up my own, but it's just not as special. I wish people could. I wish my friends would help me out here. It is what it is. So I'm hoping that eventually I'll get a rave name, and then I can put that rave name as my channel for all my raving stuff. And then I don't know if I want to separate the gaming side. I think I do, only because my gaming community friends, they don't want to see all this other disabled stuff or rave stuff. Maybe they do, but I also consider raving part of my healing journey and my connective tissue issues. But not everybody understands that kind of lifestyle, and being able to be disabled and be in that lifestyle. Like, I really need to start reaching out to some people. I have a friend in Wyoming, and I know she's subbed to this channel, but I know she doesn't watch everything. But I love you if you end up seeing this video. I love you, Jordan. She has a lot of medical things going on right now, and it's really scary. And she's very isolated and alone because she can't get into her cardiologist any sooner. And it's devastating. I need to message her and tell her what kind of seizures my cousin has, to see if she can research what those type are, to see if she can associate her newest symptoms to potentially those types of seizures that my cousin's has. And I asked her, is that a name that you called it, or is it something that is real, that you called it like by its real name? And I guess there's something called absence seizures. And I think my friend Jordan was right on the mark with her stress and everything else, but she had other types of seizures before. I'm only telling her story because maybe it will help somebody else that's experiencing something similar. So I also talked to my other friend. Okay, no, it wasn't my cousin I talked to. I still need to talk to my cousin because I want to ask her type, because I want to see if she's been diagnosed with the same or has suspected the same type upon her own research. I don't know. But anyway, knowing several people, I'm going to try and get a hold of all of them. Some of them family. So I'm going to get a hold of my family and the ones that I know that have seizures, and ask if they've gotten any further in figuring out what's caused them, or what's what. I know stress, poor diet, and external factors, your environment, along with progressing of our diseases. She could just be entering the next cycle of her disease, and diseases, whatever they are. I'm not a doctor. I can't diagnose her, but I 100% believe that she has EDS just like I do. It takes one to know one, and I recognize the signs immediately, and it only takes a couple quick questions, and I can spot an EDS person. And there's so many undiagnosed EDS people in the United States and world because it's so hard to get into a geneticist. It's so hard for insurance to want to cover it. Doctors are afraid of stepping out and diagnosing something that they know nothing about. Understandable, but there are clear diagnostic criteria that anybody can go and test anybody and come up with the same result. The only difference is why you have to have a doctor diagnose you, preferably a geneticist, because they know what they're looking for and they know what to do to rule out other connective tissue diseases like Marfan syndrome and there's a whole slew of them. Saccharoidosis. I'm not saying that right. It's something with an S. I know I'm mispronouncing it. I'm probably saying the completely different word. Scleroderma. That's what it was. It's an S word. Scleroderma is also a connective tissue disease. But it's been well documented and even though it's still considered scleroderma is rare, it's more common than any other diagnosed connective tissue disease. So a little education about the illnesses at which many people I know and I suffer. I do not have scleroderma, but that was the first thing that I tried to rule out with a doctor that knew a little bit about it, which was my orthopedic surgeon that did my ulnar nerve surgery, which is the one that suggested I had a connective tissue disorder. Not scleroderma, but a type of connective tissue disorder. And that is what led me to researching as much as I did. And then I come to find out years later, looking back at my medical records, seeing it in a neurosurgeon's notes about celiac disease, which is who got me diagnosed with a neurosurgeon, not even a gastro. And that neurosurgeon also put in the notes that she thinks that I had EDS. And I didn't even see, I did see that and I researched it, but at that point in time, it was in between 2010 and 2012 that I saw this neurosurgeon and got diagnosed about celiac because she specialized in knowing about that. And then she also knew about EDS and all that stuff, but it was before the EDS Society and the diagnostic whatever book for diseases and stuff came out that they finally updated it to 13 different types, with only one type being the only one without a genetic marker. So it makes clinicians work harder at doing diagnostic clinical tests to diagnose it. Clinical tests to diagnose it clinically. My brain's still working. My brain is still coming on board, guys. But all this knowledge is up here. Some of it's a little mixed up because of my dyslexia and, poor memory. Which I am going to be, on another update, a segue into something else. What was I going to say? Dang it. I am me, and I love me. Here's a piece of jewelry that my uncle helped me make. So last year I bought a whole bunch of these letter ornaments to put in little gift bags for everybody in the Cheese Slut family, Rave family. And then I took them all to eat. I was going to send them out as Christmas packages, but I got so overwhelmed that I shut down. I gotta clear this camera a second. So I didn't end up sending them out, and then when I went to EDC in 2025 May, because the year's almost over. I'm already thinking like it's 2026. My mind's already next year. I ended up not getting it to them. So I had several letters left over, and I'm like, you know what? Maybe somebody's initials start with that letter, and maybe they like to have a letter H. I have a couple different letters. And a couple more ornaments. So my favorite thing is to buy ornaments that aren't so super obnoxious, but maybe a little. I'm gonna have these all made into necklaces. I have some bracelets that have ornaments sticking out all around. Now they're pretty crazy looking, but I feel like I need to kind of make one like a wreath. That would be cool. Maybe I will do a slinky cuff with green on the outside of it. I really would love to make a wreath bracelet. That is what I aim to try and make. I'm going to push the boundaries of what my skills are and see what I can create. I'm all about creating, and oh my gosh, I absolutely love sitting at my craft table again. I finally, the night before, like late at night, I cleaned off and like kind of organized things a lot better. And it looks so good. I love my crafting table is back in session. It only took me weeks. And then what do? I finally get my jewelry put together last minute, the day before I need to go sell some. I don't have that much Christmas ones. My uncle's hip is killing me. I think he likes to say that I call him slave labor. He's not slave labor, but I do make jokes about it being a sweatshop. Right now, it is a cold shop. It is a freezing shop, so it's not even a sweatshop right now. Summertime, it was definitely a sweatshop. So right now it's just cold, and I need to buy a heater. I'm going to go online today and see what I can find, either Walmart or Amazon, and try and get a heater so I can, preferably Amazon, so I can get it shipped right away. Because now that Salem has their own Amazon warehouse, hopefully they have something like that in stock. Hopefully not everybody in Salem is ordering heaters right now, which I'm sure they are. We have a generator, but we don't have a heater set up. I am going to freeze today. So if I can do a pickup order from Walmart or next day delivery for Amazon, I'm taking it. I had a wonderful Thanksgiving dinner last night. I actually sat at the table with my parents and uncle and ate with them. Typically, I take my dog and I go eat in my bedroom because, one, I don't want to pull the table out away from the wall for me to sit and squeeze in there. And two, I just don't like my dog begging for people food at the table. And I need to eventually train her on manners on that. I am working more diligently at training my dog every single day to go for a walk. Hopefully I can maybe wake up earlier tomorrow morning and take her for a walk before I even get ready to go. I'm going to have to come home and make more jewelry tonight Hopefully I sell some today. I have some holiday stuff and I have some non-holiday stuff. I don't have any price tags on anything. I wished I would have. I gave my friends some styrofoam letters, and I kind of wish I would have kept it, because then I could have made a sign. I have some poster board. I could have cut that poster board up into small little poster boards and have prices set for everything so people don't got to ask. But because there's some people that are shy that don't want to ask, or they're kind of timid and have a little social anxiety or something and don't want to ask, but they want to know how much something is. So I may lose business if I don't have it posted how much it is. Because I'm thinking kids, potentially. But I do have some nice looking jewelry. I'm not going to lie, there's a couple pieces on there I did not make myself, but they do look Christmassy. And so somebody made them. But I can't. I had to come up with some stuff to fill up my little jewelry stand thing, and I have all my other stands in the back. I wanted to do a pre-trial and set everything up on the table with everything on it to see how I want to display it, and then decide how I'm going to do the signage. But I did not have time for the signage. I did not have time to price anything. Because, technically all I needed was the label maker. I should have grabbed that damn thing. Hindsight's always 22. 22. Hindsight's always 2020. And that was the year things went crazy. I like to say that after the year 2020 and the whole COVID thing break out. I was like, well, as in hindsight, 2020 now. That is like the mark of some history right there. Oh, speaking of history and teaching and learning, just segue, ADHD brain. So I watched a YouTube video, and I'm going to have to do a little bit more digging about this topic. A teacher, a former high school teacher, was making a YouTube video about how kids cannot read and write these days. We're gonna be in a world of hurt in like 20 years. Less than 20 years. In the next 10, honestly, 5 to 10 years. But even longer for the people that may potentially want to be in the freaking politics. Y'all know I hate talking about politics. I don't want to bring that stuff up. But I don't know what's going to happen. Nobody does. My brain's jumping from one place to another. I'm just... to know that Gen Z, I think she's called it out. I think she called out Gen Z for it. So if it is Gen Z, I think they're in high school or getting out of high school now. I don't know. I can't. I don't keep track of every little thing about everything I watch, because I just don't pay attention all the way until I really need to, and kind of need to now, so I can kind of get the facts of what Gen Z years of birth are and where they are in schooling. But if this high school teacher says that her classes just could not read or write, she asks students to write a paragraph about something or other. I can't remember what the topic was, but she had almost every student come up there and ask her, can we just do 3 sentences? Isn't that a paragraph? 3 sentences. And this teacher's like, oh, Lottie, like, really? You can't even write. You need help with structuring a paragraph? What are these teachers teaching our students? What are these students? These students are using AI for their freaking answers, and AI is not correct. A teacher can distinguish AI from non-AI. And then you got to watch out for plagiarism, because if you're using AI, then and the next person's using it, I mean, then you got people that are writing pretty similar things. The literacy is leaving our country. If this one teacher, and I'm only taking this with a grain of salt, y'all, because it's only one YouTube video I saw. Now the algorithm's probably going to start pushing more videos like that towards me. My algorithm's all weird, all kinds of messed up. It's kind of like all kinds of like politics and like addiction things, videos, and sobriety videos, and just a whole slew of things. My trash talk, my commentary, my Am I the A-hole commentary videos, Bridezilla videos, like gaming content, gaming creators. Oh, wait. Oh, this is not it. This is not the right one, is it? I gotta turn around. I think it's further down the road. I think I went to the wrong Christmas tree one. Maybe I didn't. Maybe I'm gonna have to turn around again. I believe this place opens at 9. Yeah, this one is Christmas Tree Ladies. Wrong Christmas tree farm. I got 0.9 miles to go for the next one. Alright, so looks like I gotta be getting off of here. I know I was all over the place with topics, and I know I lost my train of thought a couple times. This is just who I am. I'm perfectly imperfect. No, there is no such thing as perfect, by the way. Just checking my smear on my lipstick. I smeared this side. It's just not as sharp. I need a lip liner. I need to take some tips from the girlies on YouTube, and I shiver about thinking about even trying TikTok, because I'm not a TikTok girl, but now that I'm a pharmacy influencer, I may end up having to freaking join the stupid dark side just to put those on there. Yay! Bigfoot Christmas trees. Noble, Douglas, and Grand. So, y'all should come out here if you're in Oregon area on the western side. You should come out and check out my jewelry if you're watching from this area. If not, I can always do custom orders as well, but I'll take a picture and post it on my community page after I have everything set up to show you what all I got. I'm also giving away free keychains with the purchase of any jewelry. If not, the keychains are going to be, I think I'll charge like 50 cents each or something like that. I'd rather do 25 cents each just to get rid of them, but I'll go 50 cents. But I'm going to need to buy some change for sure. I'm going to need to get a roll of quarters for this keychain idea. It's just I got so many things I'm trying to get rid of, and not everybody in the rave community is into Star Wars, but a lot of these keychains are Star Wars, which I thought about just turning into jewelry, but I just have not had the time to take them apart and create anything with those. I still have some at home. I'm not using all of them. I took 5 of every kind I have. So, anyways, I'm going to go ahead and post this. Hopefully I get some more viewership today. I love you all, and stay tuned for some new content coming up. Potentially split my channel off. Yeah. Anyways, have a fantastic weekend, Black Friday if you do that kind of thing. Cyber Monday coming up. I hope you all have a fantastic, fantastic weekend. Peace out.